When you play volleyball, you use your fingers a lot. You know that, and you also often have problems with your fingers or get jammed fingers after hit of the ball. But that can soon be over. In practically 10 minutes, you can be equipped with knowledge that will help you fundamentally. Because I have the ultimate advice for you on how to take care of your fingers and what preventative exercises to do to keep your fingers pain-free in volleyball and at the same time to play better volleyball. I have had fingers problems several times in my professional career. The most common problem I have had with my fingers when I was blocking and the fast flying ball hit my fingers, so I had jammed fingers. This then worried me for a few days and sometimes even a weeks. Or once even I had broken fingers and I didn't touch a volleyball for over a month. In my opinion, we need to protect and do preventative exercises for our fingers as well. Sure, fingers are a small part of our body. We usually have problems with our back, knees or ankles, but on the other hand, we use our fingers very often in volleyball and very few players, even professional players, pay attention to preventing pain and injuries. Not to mention that if you have strong fingers, you will also play better volleyball. Plus, I have one guaranteed method to strengthen your fingers that will improve your performance and make you more confident on the court. In what volleyball actions do we encounter finger problems? When do your fingers hurt or when do they prevent you from performing better? The most common situation that leaves us with jammed fingers is fast flying balls after a spike that are headed straight to our fingers. The ball weighs around 300 grams and can travel at a speed of over 100 kilometers. That's some serious kinetic energy that our fingers have to deal with when blocking. And it's in this situation that jammed fingers occurs, where your fingers start to hurt immediately and often this pain persists for several weeks. The second situation where you can cause problems with your fingers is when playing in the field. Sometimes a fast-flying ball comes at you and you, in an attempt to play it, incorrectly place your hands and fingers in the flight path of the ball and again you can jam your fingers. Or you can injure your fingers when falling down in the field when defending the ball. And I have also seen a player injure his thumb several times when colliding with a teammate. Then there are situations where weak fingers don't help you, but rather hurt you. For example, when hitting an attack or a jump serve. If you have weak fingers, you won't hit the ball ideally and the ball will fly everywhere else from your hits and serves that where you would like it to go. And let's not forget about setting. It's not just setters who need strength in their fingers to make high sets from the field. Every player needs to be able to make a high set, and if you are afraid to play with your fingers when you have to play a high-flying ball downfield after defending, you are a bad player and you can become a complete player. Simply strengthening the fingers is essential for volleyball players to improve grip strength, ball control, and overall performance. But let's get to the specific advice on how to take care of your fingers, what preventative exercises to do, and I'll also reveal one method, a method of exercise that will help you the most, and you can do it virtually every practice. A good tool for strengthening individual fingers are finger grips or weighted balls. Squeeze and release these objects repeatedly and focus on the strength of each finger. An excellent tool that costs almost nothing are small rubber bands or elastic bands. Wrap them around your fingers and thumb and then stretch your fingers against the resistance of the rubber bands. Repeat this motion to practice stretching your fingers. You can also find many inspirational exercises on the internet to do with them. Stretching your fingers, squeezing your fingers together, or you can do exercises without the aids, stretching each finger, improving their flexibility and strengthening them at the same time. I have done these exercises myself and I reveal them in a moment. One of the best methods to strengthen your fingers while preventing injuries are variations of finger push-ups. First, perform static push-ups leaning against a wall. Keep your feet away from the wall. Lean against the wall in a push-up position, but only your fingers touching the wall. Once you have done this workout without any problems for 30 seconds, you can move on to push-ups on the floor in plank position. Again, I recommend doing static push-ups first, where you keep your body weight on your fingers. Then you can do classic push-ups. Another handy tool are hand grippers. These tools are commonly used by sportsmen even outside of volleyball. Not only will they help you strengthen your fingers, but most importantly, you will significantly increase your grip strength. Simply squeeze the handles of the grippers together a few times, once or twice a day, and gradually release the tension in them. You will feel for yourself that this is not an easy exercise. On the other hand, you can expect to build a strong grip that will be very helpful for better and higher quality attacks and your serves. Don't forget about exercises to increase flexibility. Incorporate finger flexibility exercises into your training process to improve agility and mobility. This can include finger circling, finger tapping, or finger stretching. I recommend doing these exercises primarily before a practice or a match. Just 2 or 3 finger stretching exercises to get your fingers ready for the volleyball action afterwards. Or you can also buy a massage ball and squeeze that in your hand. These balls often have protrusions that will massage your palm and fingers as you use them, blooding your fingers and bringing new blood to your fingers. It's definitely a good idea to use these balls after practice or a game. If you feel tired fingers, you can massage your fingers with them. Unconventional and unknown method in the volleyball world to strengthen your fingers is to use rice. Yes, rice. Fill a smaller bucket with uncooked rice and stick your hand in it. Squeeze and release your fingers, clench them into a fist and spread them apart while pushing against the resistance of the rice. Due to the resistance of the rice, you will feel that it's not easy to open and move your fingers in the rice. And that's what you need for strong fingers in volleyball. Resistance that will strengthen your fingers. At the same time, it's a perfectly safe exercise in which you cannot injure your fingers. A very similar way to strengthen your fingers is to use water, ideally in a swimming pool or water pool. You can also work on strengthening your fingers by doing stretching exercises with them underwater, quickly clenching your fingers into a fist or moving your palms against the resistance of the water. To increase explosive finger strength, you can also perform finger plyometric exercises. For example, these can be exercises where you bounce your fingers off the wall in a position where we did static push-ups against the wall. Keep your fingers together, engage your wrist and fingers and bounce off the wall. You can also do the same thing in reverse by breaking the force of the impact on the wall, which can be followed immediately by bouncing off the wall. The goal of these exercises is to develop momentum in the fast twitch muscle fibers. Wrist strengthening can also indirectly improve your strength. Incorporate exercises such as elastic band exercises and wristbands and reverse wristbands into your training program to strengthen the muscles that support finger movements. Not only these exercises, but much more inspiration for you who want to significantly increase your hitting power can be found in my online course, How to Hit Harder, Improve by up to 50% in 8 weeks. I am sure you haven't heard of this method of strengthening your fingers, typing on the computer. Learn to type with all your fingers. I learned this myself by literally typing magazines content into the computer. Typing on the computer will not only improve your fine finger motor skills, it will also strengthen your fingers. For example, when I write a script for my videos, I have at least an hour of typing ahead of me, and that's quite a finger training. Of course, we can't always prepare our fingers for all situations, and sometimes we get ball in our fingers and they hurt. Therefore, learn to tape your fingers as well. Don't rely on the help of the others. Instead, watch my video where I will present you some ways and methods for taping your fingers. Learn these simple techniques and be prepared for any problems with your fingers. I must also not forget the role of the ice. Ice helps us in sports. Ice or some form of cooling is also used by professional volleyball players. They dive into an ice bath, they ice their knees, and in the same way you can ice your fingers after hard training session or if you have problems with fingers. I just don't recommend putting ice directly on your fingers. Rather use ice packs or other aids for a maximum of 10 minutes. And here we are at my favorite way to strengthen your fingers. Yes, the medicine ball is the #1 tool in my eyes that can help you not only prevent finger injuries but also greatly enhance finger strength. I myself use a 3 kg medicine ball with which I do a lot of exercises to strengthen my fingers, wrist and also my shoulders. Again, these exercises can be found in my online course, How to Hit Harder. For all the mentioned exercises, focus on technique first. Perform the movements consistently and gradually increase the intensity or resistance to continue to strengthen your finger muscles. Also remember to warm up your hands and fingers before performing finger strengthening exercises to prevent injury, and listen to your body to avoid overuse. I am sure these exercises and advice will help you to become a better player. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.